I introduce Kevin Powers, our play-by-play announcer.
Good evening, Austintown, and welcome to this edition of Austintown Community Television Sports. And like Ken said, we are coming from Brooke, West Virginia, Pennsylvania's Mount Lebanon High School, which is usually a nationally ranked high school power. So they are a threat here. Also, looking at the past history of Brooke, West Virginia, last year they were the Class AAA West Virginia State Champions. And that was the second time they were state champions in the past 3 years, where they were state champions once again in 1985. Also, under Coach Bud Dillard, in his last 9 years, they've made it to the playoffs 8 times in West Virginia, and he has a record at Brooke of 96, 18-1, which is a 800-plus average. So that's an excellent average here, and that's the tone of this game because the Falcons come into this game are 5-1 as well, and they are in need of victories to maintain their status going towards the playoff berth. Joining me today for this broadcast, which is unusual because it is a daylight game, in fact, I think the first daylight game for the Falcons since the 1968 season. So joining me today is Ken Carano in place of John Rourke, who is vacationing.
John is out refereeing volleyball. Ken, it is beautiful. I'm glad it's an afternoon game here in West Virginia, because if we could, we're going to give you a little idea of what this stadium is. It's set right on the bottom of a circular mountain, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The trees are turning all kind of colors. And here comes the Bruins, and their fans are, I have to say, fanatical. Yeah, it's really super. Beautiful stadium, a $4.5 million stadium. I'm sorry that you can't see the stands where we are. Their fans are sitting there. Obviously, our fans, you can see they're in the blue across the field, and those are bleachers set up for the people coming in to compete against the Bruins. But it is a beautiful day. It was a beautiful drive down here. It is something that's a big unknown. We don't know the caliber of football. We know that they are very successful. Last year, Quad A Division champions. That's their big school championship here in West Virginia. And they have all intentions of being back there again this year. So we'll find out just how the Still Valley and Ohio football, we know how tough that is, ranks against the powers in West Virginia.
You're certainly right, Ken. This is the typical college football town. It's incredible. The Brooke High School system comprises several local communities, and they have an attendance of 1,600, and this is a football town. On the drive in there is a big pipe all over town. It's one of the quaint Ohio River towns from the late 1800s, early 1900s, the industrial boom here along the Ohio Valley. And it is just an incredible town. They have a lot of pride in their school, and it's going to be shown here today. Everyone's wearing gold and green.
Are we like Green Bay or Notre Dame or Thurston?
Yeah. And, of course, I'm surprised to continue Falcon fans here. They've made drive down here. They're here in good force to support our Falcons in today's contest. I don't know if you noticed, Ken, when the Brooke players came out at the beginning here, there was fire coming from the Bruins on scoreboard. I think their scoreboard, one of their most surprising things here, had a display screen, and there also was fire coming from the Bruin there. So that should be interesting.
We're high atop the press box, and we'll be standing, so I'm glad I wore my good shoes.
Right now, out on the field for the Falcons are their captain, number 80, Don Hauser, number 63, Jeff Gamino, number 73, Rich Chuck, and number 22, Rob Toville. We're waiting for the toss of the coin here to decide who's going to get possession to open this ball game. Now, speaking of state playoffs, this is the time of the year where it really comes into focus. And this week, in the Ohio High School Grid poll, selected by the coaches and the Associated Press, Austintown Fitch is now resting at 10. So we are 10th as of the coaches' AP poll. And also at number 5 is Warren Western Reserve, next week's opponent, and we'll get more to that after we see who won the toss here. And the Falcons have won toss, and they elected to receive. So the Falcons will be opening this ball game up by going on offense first. Now, as I was saying, in the computer ranking this week in Division I, Region 3, where the Falcons are, we are now staying at a tie for 6th place with Upper Arlington. We have 48 computer points. Top in our region is Groveport Madison with 74 computer points. Big right here. Number 2 in our region, Warren Western Reserve High School, tied with Westerville North with 58.5 points. Ashland, Washington is 4th with 49 points, and Chillicothe is 5th with 48.5 points. Interesting, though, that Massillon did lose to Warren Harding last night, and that will definitely drop them down. It doesn't move the Falcons any good. We were 5th last week in our region computer points. However, all of the teams we've beat so far have lost, and so that's really hurting us at this moment. However, if we come out of this game with victory and go on this week with Warren Western Reserve, you'll start standings in our region jump dramatically.
This is a production of the Austintown Fitch High School television production class with in cooperation with the school board, trustees, and Armstrong Table. And it's brought to you by Mr. Robertson of Robertson Photography and Kamara Jewelers in a number of different locations. Once again, we'd like to thank them. And here we go, ready for the kickoff of this game between two strong teams from different states.
Number 6, Tom Zone, kicking off for the West Virginia. West in, Connor and O'Powell, all deep receive for the Falcons. high but short kick. Connor's going to take it around the 10-yard line. He's looking for the far side of the field, and he's going to drop at the 15-yard line. And crowd here erupt. So this is going to be a contest not only for the football teams, but one of the fans. We're going to have to overcome the distance and the fan factor here, Dan.
I'll tell you, that time the kick was not very long, but it was very high. And for the first time, you can see that since we're playing in daylight, our boys, Al Carth was looking up into the light, and it was bothering him a little bit.
Yeah, this is new for high school football. Of course, most of the kids are used to playing the JV and freshmen on middle school level during the day, so it isn't that much of a culture shock. It might have been a couple of years. So that Moravich on first offense carry, and he's going to get only about 2. So already the Brooke defense shows why they were state champions last year and are 5-1 this year. They look like a strong ball club. Set up the offense now on the field for the Falcons. Starting off at quarterback is number 9, senior Derek Fletcher. At the fullback position, number 48, Matt Rakovich, a junior. Halfbacks are juniors, number 32, Chuck West, and number 34, Al Connor. Split end right now is number 22, Rob Tobel. He's right outside the field. Also number 10, Jeff Scott, split end. Fletcher rolls out, going to keep it himself. He's all the way up around the 25 and close to the 30-yard line, so that's good enough for the Falcons' first down.
That's one of the Falcons' favorite plays, simply letting Derek Fletcher go wide one way or the other. I don't get that time he had any intention whatsoever passing the ball, but the blocking was superb and followed the fake over to the Falcons' right side, and it was big, wide opening for Derek.
He also got some help from that offensive line. Our tackles being Trent Massel and Ben Burt, the guard, Jamie Pack, Jeff Lean, the center, Tony Dorenzo, number 80, John Hauser, the tight end. Flags on the play, and that's carry from Rakovich, but it'll be a legal procedure against the Falcons. 10:46 remaining in the first period.
We've been having that problem the last couple of games. We shift a lot, but what's happening is the boys shifting, and they're so concentrating on that shift that they end up moving themselves. So once again, we had 3 people at that time really moving at the same time.
So that's what it'll be against the Falcons. The procedure now moving back 5 yards. They'll be bring up first down at 15. Ball resting now on the 23-yard line. And of course, it's interesting here. And there's as many cheerleaders down there on the track as there are football players.
I noticed that. I mean, they go from the 2 deep from the 10-yard line to 10-yard line.
So they have a cheerleading contingent as well as a good football team here at Brooke. Derek Fletcher, quarterback, first down 15. Handoff is to Wilson. He has an opening. And he's all the way out to about the 27-yard line, so that'll make up for that 5 loss, bring up second down 10. Getting back to our offensive line, and I broke through them quickly, and they deserve a lot more credit. And that they're doing a heck of a job this year. And they're, as I mentioned before, Hauser, Mascolo, Dolino, Lorenzo, Fitzpatrick, and Burton. And of course, and in our type of offense, they have to do a good job because we have to sustain their blocks longer than say straightforward type offense. We have pulling guards, and we have people doing blocks that have to be held longer.
Falcons don't use a lot of dive plays.
Fletcher now has an opening. And he's going to pick up about 4, so it'll bring up third down and 6. Ball resting now on the 33-yard line.
Now, there was a wide hole, and Derek made use of it. Now we have a big third down play with about 5 yards to go. And what do you think the Falcons are going to do?
Of course, we know the SOP here for the Falcons. Standard operating procedure would be to go with Derek Fletcher on the rollout. And it is probably the best thing to do. It gives us the option of either running or throwing. So we have number 25, Eric Hopeful on display, and he's out this side of the field. The Falcons are... Now, that is not... That is not...
The delay of game. They gave us a delay of game. Okay, you and I both had the same idea.
It wasn't a good procedure. It was a delay of game, and now the Falcons are starting to hurt them. We're doing a little formation shifting, and it doesn't seem to be out right now.
Yeah, there's a communications gap here someplace because they come out of the huddle, and at that point, Derek Fletcher wanted Don House to move over to the other side. And when he did, obviously, the wide receiver had to move over to the other place, and it took too long. And they have 25-second clocks here at the stadium.
And we have 7 seconds left on the clock right now for 25 seconds. Fletcher gets playoff. He's going to have to run it, and he's not going to have enough for the first down. He's only going to pick the yard. The whole Brooke team was in on that stop, so the Falcons are stopping their first drive with 8:56 remaining in the first period.
Now, Jeff Wilkins is going to have to kick. It's a rather stiff win. Now, I'm sure it's worrying, but it is coming into his face. So we're going to see. We have to make sure we get a good snap, and Jeff Wilkins will have to get a good kick. It's a hard win.
Wilkins is standing on his own 17-yard line. Number 7 going to field it on the 29. Good coverage by Falcons. Chuck Campbell makes a stop. Good play by number 4.
Larry Palmer. Larry Palmer is their, supposedly their big runner, their big threat for kickoffs and on punts. But that time was coming well.
Chuck Campbell did a nice job reducing any threat there. So the Falcons are now on defense with the Brooke West Virginia Bruins starting on their own 34-yard line. They have 2 wideouts far side of the field running an I formation.
Well, that's a strange formation. Look, they have the wideouts are back right behind each other.
Running sort of a pro set. Don Hauser on the stunt. He has pressure.
Tried to shuffle. No good.
That was an interesting move by the quarterback there. He did it with his sack, so he did his job there. But it brought up second down and 10 because the pass wasn't complete. Let's set up Falcon defense right now. At the nose tackle for the Falcons, the number 59, Mike Connolly, a senior. The tackles, number 73, Rich DeChuck, a senior. And also senior, number 79, John Poles. outside backers for the Falcons. Number 42, John Markovic. Number 87, Matt Starry. Second and 10, 8:05 remaining first period. Same formation again for the Bruins. This time a pitch out short side field. There's a penalty. Good play there by number 87, Matt Starry. Perfect outside linebacking play there.
All kind of flags on that play, Kevin. I'm not quite sure what it was, but here are the linemen, the line officials.
And that will be illegal procedure against the Bruins. So that will cost the Bruins 5 yards here, or we may decline the penalty. I don't see why we would, but we'll see the call.
They are giving a signal to decline it. Third down.
When it declines, it'll be up third down and long, and probably a good call because it is third and long situation. And the Brooke passing has yet been proven, so the Falcons will see if they can hold here with third down and 7.5, all resting on the 36-yard line. Now the Bruins are using their own formation. If they may run the post, they have a lot of different formations. Long count. It's going to be the option. Quarterback takes it, and he's dropped short of the first down by number 8, Don Hauser. So that will end the drive for the Brooke Bruins. And
good play by Don Hauser. The hole open there for a second. The quarterback really didn't look like he had that blind speed because he cut up and immediately Don Hauser got his feet.
So the Bruins will have to punt. So we've seen exchange punts here for the first series, both the Falcons and Bruins. Weston is standing on his own 25-yard line. A short kick, and it's going to drop out of bounds. Wherever they mark it is around the 45-yard line, and it went out of bounds.
Back up towards 47.
So the Falcons will get good field position. Bad punt there by number 14 for the Bruins, T.J. Biller, and that's going to give the Falcons an excellent position to start their second drive this afternoon. Now, Ken, it's interesting to note that the Falcons don't really want what to expect from the Bruins here, and so now after maybe a first series under their belts, they'll be able to get a better feel and open up the offense for Falcons.
Now, there's the flag.
Weston is trapped in the backfield, and he's going to lose a yard, maybe get back to the line of scrimmage.
There's a flag on the play, and it will be against our left side, starting a little too early.
So we're having some trouble getting our starts down here. We're having a legal procedure trouble. That's our third penalty already. We've had second legal procedure and a play of game so far, and we've only run 4 offensive plays.
And that creates a situation for us that you play a good football team. You don't want to start off with 5-yard penalty time. They're going to march off.
So that'll take the Falcons back for their own 40-yard line. They still have good field position, but they have to work with a first down and 15.
We really have to settle down. I think everyone's flying high, and that's not our speed. Our speed is the psychological game. Remember what you're supposed to do. Don't make mistakes.
Our kind of game exactly what we saw last week against Ursuline, where we maintained long drives on the ground and were able to put in enough points to win the game. And up is the Markovic, and he has good yardage, about 6 on the play, so it'll bring a second down and 9. And speaking of last week's Ursuline game, and we haven't got to that problem that we did have last, we had 4 good drives. 3 of them resulted in field goals, and the other one was stuffed inside the 5, but we weren't producing last week on touchdowns.
That was a bugger. I wish you wouldn't have mentioned that, but that is the truth. We just seem to close up as soon as we would get with the 10-yard line. But
second down and 9. Hand off to Weston, and they get penetration. Brooke West Virginia doing some stunning, and they're able to get our backfield before our play can get underway. They'll bring up third and long, and just as I was saying, we have to sustain our box, the type of offense we have. It's what exactly we're not doing right now.
I would say that they did an excellent job of scouting us, because immediately when that ball got into Chuck Wetton's hand, everyone went to that particular area to try to close the outside up. We're going to have to bust up a little bit more on the inside to keep them a little bit more honest.
So that'll bring up third down and 10. Fletcher's to hand up to Weston, but he's not going to have enough the first down. He's only going to pick up 4, so the Falcons will have to punt again, and now this has turned into a defensive struggle, and he won first down so far, and it's been by the Falcons.
West Virginia, reading the information about Brooke High School, that is their forte. Defense is their forte. The whole idea is that they stop you, and they eventually somewhere along the line are going to get the defense to set up the offense for a score.
Wilkins, the nice high kickoff. Returner number 7, Palmer, he's going to fall down with the ball on 10-yard line, so at least the Falcons were able to put the Bruins in poor field position on their own 11-yard line. Now the defense comes in, let me deal with secondary. Didn't get a chance to read them off on the last series. They were in there very shortly. The inside linebacker for the Falcons, number 80, Don Hauser, he's a senior, also leading tackler for the Falcons. And also inside linebacker number 4, Jeff Powers Jr. Rounding out the secondary for the Falcons, strong safety junior, number 29, Chuck Campbell. Halfback senior, number 1, Toto Palick. Corner, number 22, Rob Tofill, a senior. And also at number 9, Derek Fletcher, free safety, also senior for the Falcons. That rounds out the secondary. There's an official timeout on the field.
I just saw something that I'm not quite sure what's happening. I'm going to assume that here in West Virginia, the officials have the right to call a timeout, for example, to have people rest or something, because no other team is being charged with this timeout. If they bring out the water and the whole bit for them, and it is official timeout.
That is interesting. We'll have to use the West Virginia Bulls also because they probably do play the majority of the games in a day. That maybe that situation where it's hotter in the earlier part of the season that they find it necessary to bring up the water for the players. Certainly not going to hurt either team. And the play will resume right now with 4:17 remaining in the first period. A lot of shifting once again. They move from the wishbone Bruins, and now they have two wideouts again, far side of the field. I formation. Handoff's going to be the second back through, and good play by Hauser, and also there on the outside, number 42 OLB, John Malkovich.
There was a prime example. Chuck Campbell came in on a blitz, and it looked like he was free. He just missed the tackle, but it was just enough to stop the runner and hold open for John Hauser.
Well, our defense is certainly holding their muster here so far. The Bruins have yet to get a first down. Now they're faced with second and long, about 7. Now all their receivers are to the side field. It's going to be a pass. They have 2 receivers open. They have one in a hook pattern, and he's finally brought down by 40 Power, but that's good enough for a first down.
Now there was our zone defense. We had 4 defenders standing along the sideline, and the Brooke receiver just walked right in, stood in front, got the ball. He was tackled immediately, but there it was, just standing right in front. No one bothered him until after he cut the ball.
They do send 2 receivers like they had to the short side of the field where we have our weakness, only a cornerback. So they did pick our zone right there, good enough for first down. Hand off a straight dive up middle, it goes nowhere. Hauser, Conley, and number 7-9, Polish all in there in the stop.
You know, every one of the pass plays, we are chasing that quarterback. I mean, he's always on a run. I mean, they don't protect him very well. They try to play action. They don't use a pocket.
Defense coordinator Jack Kenny is doing little stunts here today, and I think he did some good scouting the rest of the Falcon staff because there are no tendencies of the team. Second down and long. Long count by the Bruins. Quarterback for them is number 11, Charlie Basil. Hand off to number 25, the ball carrier, that's Bob Sandwich. He's going to pick about 3, so to bring up 3rd down and 6. Powers on stop the Falcons.
That was a nice job by Jeff because Chuck was double teamed and they pushed out just slightly, but the hole was there and it was filled up very nicely by Jeff Powers. You know that name, don't you? Yeah.
It's going to be off the quarterback. Still keep it, and he's going to have close to first down yards. He may be shy by about a half a yard. We'll have to see where the mark is.
We're in West Virginia. They're going to mark the ball as a first down. I'm not because obviously I believe he did for the first down.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about futures, we're going to
the old West Virginia ball system. We're being snide here because this isn't a stadium here.
People have been absolutely cordial. Absolutely cordial.
Of course, I know you have to deal with all the different teams varies through the week because you do have to set up our TV broadcast.
Oh, they're fun people.
Yeah. They have a man streaking down side on a timing pattern, and it's just over his hands. Number 21, the receiver, Nick Roche, from the arms of number 11, Charlie Bastill. And that was a timing pattern all the way. They were streaking down the side, and he was open. He was just a step short of that completion and a touchdown.
Every step he was getting slightly further ahead of Eric Fletcher. On the coach's scouting report came in, there was a big statement around this gentleman that saying that he was the one to watch a deep threat because he has speed.
And that he does. That was number 21, Nick Roche. That was incomplete, so to bring a second down and 10, ball resting the Bruins 34-yard line. The slow roll guys get good pressure by Mahakevich. He's going to have to throw it up. Good defensive play by Chuck Campbell. He did exactly what a secondary person should do. He jumped for the ball at its peak, and that was a good defense play.
They're giving him pressure. Don Hauser on the blitz that time. I'm not sure who came from the outside.
42, John Hawkjar,
OLB. Okay, they really were one step away again with sack. The quarterback is quick. He gets that ball off real fast.
Definitely, we are doing something different out there in defense. We're trying to put as much pressure as we can on the quarterback, and right now, it's doing the job. We have 4 down linemen. Sorry, outside and wide during a whiteout. To draw, number 25 gets around the first tackle and finally back down number 59, Conley. Pick up of about 2 on the play, maybe 3. But we'll bring up a 4th down and long, and so in comes the punting unit of the Bruins. So right now it is another punting situation. 1 minute remaining in the first period. We have yet to see an offensive drive by either of the teams. Fox will set the return. Weston standing on his own 30, fair catching it. And Chuck really had some yardage to run there. He fair caught it on the 30, but it was one of his tough hunts field, so he probably did the same thing with 51 seconds remaining first period.
Yeah, Chuck, he sees that, is probably going to kick himself because there was a low line drop to him, and if he had at least 15 yards of it in front of him before they got tackled. But then again, that ball was hopping around. So that's his decision.
One of those ones that's come at you that fast, have to make a split decision. Maybe you don't have enough time to look at where the defense is coming at you. So Connors has a hole right now, first down, and he's able to pick up 10 yards all the way out to the 40. The Falcons made burst in the light here offensively.
Beautiful play. Picture perfect. It looked like it was on the blackboard. The blocking was there. Reverse came up. The hole was there because everyone followed the fake. And he picked up his 10-yard.
Right now, the Austintown Fitch High School marching band has made it to the field. He marched on in halfway through the first period. They stuck somewhere along the line. And they're aiding to the Falcons' momentum here with their playing of the music. Marakovich has a hole, and he's got some good running. And he's all the way out for another 10 yards inside Bruins territory. First time either team has encroached their opponent's territory.
Kevin, I wish we had this to replay. Matt Barakovich put his shoulders back, used every ounce of muscle on him, and he plowed through 3 people. The last one sort of got tangled up his feet. That was a beautiful run.
Just over 12 seconds remaining here in the first period. Falcons get off one last play. First down and 10. Ball in Bruins 49. And we have another flag. West Virginia Fish seems to have a discrepancy here with the Falcons formation shift. And that will be a illegal motion against Falcons. That'll move them back 5 yards, and they'll be able to get one more payoff here. So they won't that run it out, and that'll be the end of the first period here in Brooke, West Virginia. The score standing 0-0, a deadlock here, and the Falcons are now just starting to get a offensive movement going.
We'd like to thank Robert Says Studio Photography for sponsoring this and all our Falcon football games. Robert Says Studio has 2 locations to serve you at 3671 South Meridian Road and the Environmental Studio located at 2994 Whispering Pines Drive. For all your photography needs, we urge you to go to Robert Sen Studio and thank him for sponsoring all these football games here at Austintown High School. Given the first quarter, I would say we had the edge. There's no question about it. It looked like we had the opportunity at times to move the ball, but we're our own worst enemy. We end up with that 5-yard penalty all the time, and it's really hurting us.
Unofficially, I think the Falcons have 5 penalties now here in the first period alone, and like you said, it has hurt us. That's 25 yards right there, and that could be used effectively in an offensive drive. What the Falcons have to do now is avoid those penalties and keep the momentum they have going. Unfortunately, I think maybe the change in period might have broke the momentum a little. May have been a stop, and that may hurt Falcons. We'll have to see how they come out right now to begin the second period. They are now back in their own territory, all resting on the 46. They have first down and 15 facing them. Unearthed in motion, and off to the west on the counter, and he's able to pick a hole, and he's going to get about 8 on the play. So the Falcons have found their offensive niche right now. They're starting to open up the Bruin defense, and we're doing a good job out there on the line of scrimmage. That line, of course, being Matt Gold, Burton, Conley, and Helzer. Excuse me, Renzo, and Fitzpatrick's also in there on the offensive line.
Now what they're doing is they're hurting the Bruins inside. Eventually, that's going to open up an outside for us.
Eric took a wide out this side. Rakic is the carrier, and he's all the way across the 40-yard line, so he's going to have first down for the Falcons all the way down to the Bruins 37, and now the Falcons are on a roll. 11:20 remaining in the first half.
Now that's the type of football that we play the best. The ball control, and everything's working well. The line, I have to say, more than anything else is doing it, we are hurting them on line.
Fletcher rolls out this side. Good block there by Fitzpatrick, and he's going to have to throw it out, and that was intended for number 10, Jeff Goff. It'll be incomplete and bring up a 2nd and 10.
I think at that point, Derek threw the ball, but we're sitting up here with coaches. It's so easy to see from up here, obviously not on the field, but he did have room to go and run the ball because all the receivers were turned around in a block for him.
2nd and 10 for the Falcons. Still the rest on the Bruins 37-yard line. It's the counter trap, the counter. But the Bruins have seen films of that player. Otherwise, that was just good play on their part. But it's going to cost the Falcons 3 yards and now bring it 3rd and 13.
Well, what you said before, Kevin, about the team, Brooke is playing games on the line. They're blitzing people, and really the teams that watch a lot of times we see those stunts. John Mark constantly talks about the fact that people stun against us, and sometimes they work out, and sometimes it works against them. But that time, they just stunned on the right side, and it worked perfectly for Brooke.
Rolled out again, far side. He's going to have to keep it. He's looking for the outside. We have flag down, probably an offensive penalty. Fletcher's going to be 2 yards short first down mark, but there's flag on the field. Now back to what you're just talking about, stunning. And the reason most teams probably do stun against the Falcons is, as I mentioned earlier, we have to stay in our blocks because our point of attack, or POA in football terms, has to be held so long. And if you stun in there, you get penetration and you disrupt the plays because they do take time to form in the backfield. And just in that previous counter trap, exactly what happened. Right there.
And we fight the bullet again. Here comes a 15-yard penalty against us for clipping.
That's going to take us all the way back inside our own territory at the 43. So we have yet to cross that 30-yard line, the Bruins, and we're way back now. And that's another penalty that really hurt us. I think 6 penalties now for a total of 40 yards.
We have anyone back there for a quick kick with the wind?
That is a distinct possibility right now. And the wind is blowing in that direction. Fletcher's looking. He has air toe down side field. Oh, right through Tobill's hand and out of bounds. He was open, and that was a good throw by Fletcher. Probably hit it a little by the wind, but that would have been a first down. Incomplete pass to Falcons, and out comes the punting unit one more time.
I'll tell you what, Eric, when Eric sees the film, this is one of the plays that you don't want to show up for the films on Monday because the ball was perfectly thrown. It was in his hands, and if he could have caught that at the very least, we had a first down. But the fact is, he probably would have had a touchdown. Harold, this is high school.
Wilkins gets a nice kick. It's going to be taken at 15 of the Bruins. Good coverage again, and the mid-tackle finally brought down by number 32, Weston. And that will be about a 10-yard return, about 12 altogether. So the Bruins will start on their own 26. They get to have good field position, so that's aiding Falcons right now.
That certainly is a plus for the Falcons. Keeping the hole.
The Bruins come right out right away. They are running a tight offense on nose to and they're not staying in the huddle very long. Hand off to the skin back. He's stuck at the line of scrimmage by Conley, also Polish installed number 40, Powers.
Joe Polish was hit twice. It didn't look like it didn't even face him. But they were trying to isolate him at the least there, and then Jeff Powers is just right in the hole. Our line is really holding up well against their offensive line.
Pick up a 3.5 in the play. Bring up second down and a long 6. Hand up again, 29, Sandwich. And he's going to be stopped to the line of scrimmage. All the way in there are 79 Polish again, Conley and Hauser, number 80 in there for the Falcons.
Really a little credit, too, to the Chalk. He didn't quite give him the backfield. That would have been a nice loss, but he made him change his direction. And at that point, he went right into the blocks.
So third down and a long 6. High formation, but still the quarterback. It's going to be backside pass, and Sorry comes up and makes a play. He had to. The reception was made, but Sorry and Powers come and finish him off. Made the play, so no first down. So they're going to mark it at the point where he caught the ball and he was knocked backwards. It's still going to be short. So to bring up 4th and 2, and once again the punt units will come in. They're getting most playing time so far this afternoon. Austin is now standing back on his own 34-yard line.
Now I don't want. There should have been a flag there.
A better kick for the Bruin kicker, hasn't been having a good day.
Let it go, Chuck.
Chuck comes close to building it, but he doesn't. So the Falcons will start now on their own 26-yard line with 7:30 remaining in the half. Still deadlocked the ball game at 0.
The co-sponsor of this game and all our Fitch Falcon game is Tomorrow Jewelers with 3 locations to serve you in Struthers, Boardman on 3675 South Meridian Road in Cornersburg. That store is the one served Austintown and Canfield. For all your jewelry needs, go to Kamar Jewelers.
And that play was stopped in the backfield. Good penetration. Number 32, Chuck West from the ball carrier. But he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe lose half yard. So the Falcons now are faced with 2nd and long, an official timeout.
That was another one of those stunts. Number 15, Mike Sanini, came from the outside and just blew right into the hole. I mean, way before the play even began. There he was, just the handoff.
You know, when a team stunts is the famous song of all time, or the famous line, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Maybe one of these times the Falcons can get a playoff against the stunts, open it up for a big one. We need it right now. 6:40 remaining in the half, 0-0. Falcons on their own 27, handoff to Weston. And he's only going to pick up about 4. Good carry, but it'll still bring up 3rd and 6. To remind everyone also that this Austintown Community Television rebroadcast is a co-sponsored event or production by the Austintown Local School in cooperation with Armstrong Communications, the Austintown Trustee, and the Austintown School Board. 3rd and 7 for the Falcons. Handoff to Marakovic. Good running by Matt, and he's all the way out to the Falcons 45. So good long carry by Marakovic keeps this drive alive. 5:54 remaining in the first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt has this, had a lot of deception when it comes to his speed. It looks like he's lumbering, but he's moving out there. Everyone else from Brooklyn to stand around and look and see this big guy go plow through.
The Falcons now have a 1st and 10 on their own 4-6. Conner has a hole, and he's inside Bruins territory. It's 7th time for the Falcons so far this afternoon. He's all the way down to the 48 of Bruin. And you notice once we get something going, it seems to keep going. Unless penalties stop us, and that's what we have to avoid right now on this ride.
Now, this is the 3rd time, Kevin, that we've been past the 50, and every time, now here's the crucial play, the 2nd down play puts us back because of penalty.
Once we get that penalty, it seems to kill our momentum, but if we keep that momentum going, we should do well. And right now, Weston got good carry. Close to the 1st down yards, he'll be marked at 45, so he'll be about maybe half a ball lane short, may even have it. So as long as we keep these plays going, opening up the holes and no penalties, we should be able to keep drive alive.
It looks as if things are calmed down on both sides now. Both the Falcons and the Bruins both know what they're supposed to do. Just the line of scrimmage. The Falcons have to continue doing a job on them.
3rd and 1, and Mrakovic, he shed off the first tackle, and it's enough for the first down. Good run by Mrakovic, way to keep his legs moving. He's across the marker for a first down. Ball now resting on the Bruins' 44-yard line. About the 4-3 now. So the Falcons will have 1st and 10 there. They have 4:27 to work with here in the first half.
I'll tell you, there was no way of stopping him at that time. He was hit and hit hard just as he received the ball, and frankly, the tackle just shot right off of him.
Fletcher rolls out the wide side. He has gone open, but he doesn't throw it. He's getting a lot of pressure. He's finally tackled lost the 2. Now that may be the play that hurts Falcons. We usually have that one play that hurts us. Hopefully it won't break this drive.
Well, Derek, at that point, had 3 options. He chose to go to the outside. That time, Todd Samardzija was blocking the outside linebacker, the cornerback out, and if he would have cut back behind him, he would have had a lot of territory to run.
And off Weston. And he's out for about 4 yards, but it's still going to bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the Falcons. So have 3rd and long once again with 3:25 and counting remaining in this first half. No, Ken, Bruin fans here or something else. Maybe it's because we're used to being inside the press box at pitch, but we're getting a full effect here of their cheering, and they got their whole side filled, and Falcons got their whole side filled. So we have a capacity crowd here at Bruin Stadium. Fletcher steps back, he throws the ball shot. Good reception by Jeff Scott, number 10, and he's been waiting for that all day. He's been open a couple of times, especially on that last play, the play before last where he was open, but Fletcher was sacked, and that time he's good enough for a 13-yard reception.
Now, Jeff went up high to get that ball. He has excellent hands, grabbed it and brought it in, knowing full well as soon as he grabbed that ball outstretched, he was going to get hit. And he got hit, but he allowed it in the first half for the Falcons.
So there's now just under 3 minutes left. Falcons on the Bruins 27. The first time they've been in Bruins the 30-yard line. Mrakovic will pick up a good carry there, about 6.
That's looking for his towel. For a while there, I was worried about his pants. He was dragging one of the Bruins with him, and he's holding onto his leg.
Effect up the middle tonight with the fullback. He's been able to run Matt very effective. He's getting good yards right now. He probably is the leading Falcon rusher at this point in the game. And off Connor, but he's met the line of scrimmage. And that'll be a no gain. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5, maybe a long 4.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, everybody came in on that one. They had only the safety sting in the backfield. Everyone came busting up on that play.
Right now, the clock is going to start play effector. We have under 2 minutes. The Falcons still have all of their 3 timeouts for this half. Right now, they are concerned about their 3rd and 5, and also this is 4-down territory, so the Falcons should be able to go for it, unless this play is a big disaster, which we hope is not. Fletcher rolls out, and he's going to have to keep himself. Good running by Derek. Beautiful run, and so he's going to score. Derek Fletcher on a 24-yard run. Good running by Derek Fletcher with 1:25 remaining in the first period. Falcons are on the board first. That's the first half and 25 remaining.
Well, obviously, that was supposed to be a pad play. And they only rushed 3 players. Everyone else was back to defend, and they did a nice job of defending receivers. That was strictly Derek Fletcher. Looking outfield, seeing nothing, taking off. He shook off 2 possible tacklers and got himself in the end zone with a beautiful, beautiful run.
Derek Fletcher is one of the leading scorers in the Skull Valley. And he just adds to it there. Wilkins comes out. And that's a kick at PAT, and so Jeff Wilkins, 12th consecutive PAT. I think the full record for consecutive PAT is 16, so Jeff Wilkins is now on his way to that record as well. But the important thing right here is that the Falcons have scored on a 23-yard Derek Fletcher scamper, and they're up 7-0 with 1:25 remaining in the first half.
Well, that time the Falcons didn't stop. They went all the way in. Yeah, I'm not sure on the field if they're having trouble having Pierre. Kevin and I are standing right next to each other, and because of all the noise, well, the noise that was on this side, we could hear each other, and I'm sure they were having a rough time on the field. But that really quieted the Brooke High School fans.
So Wilkins will get to kick off for the first time today. Nice kick by Jeff Wilkins. Going to take the receiver all the way back inside the end zone, 1 yard deep. And what is going on? Play is soft. West Virginia rules are different from the Ohio High School Athletic Association. And a kick in end zone must be an automatic touchback.
We were just talking to the coaches up here in the press box, and that is the West Virginia rule. Once the ball goes in the end zone, they can't run it back.
Well, so when you're in somebody else's yard, you got to play by their rules in that situation there. But that's still good for the Falcons because the Bruins will have to start deep their own territory, their own 20.
Coach Powell is next over here. He says they use it as an honor to kick or kicking the end zone.
And this is going to be number 21 again on the outside, that Croce, but he was covered this time good by number 22, Raw Tofa for the Falcons. So that timing pattern is put away there, and the Bruins will have second down and 10 on their 20.
Quarterback can pass. He boomed that ball about 35, 50 yards. It wasn't very straight out, obviously, went out of bounds. But the receiver had a couple of steps on our defender.
Second down at 10, now 1:21 remaining in the first half. Still in it, he's looking down the middle. He has a receiver open, and it's picked off by Tato Pellick. He's still on his feet, and he is still running. So Tato Pellick picks the ball up, and he returns it all the way down to the Bruins 27. So Pellick's third interception this year, and he is that is fourth. Excuse me, is the leader in the SBC in interceptions, and that is his fourth for the year, and that'll be a big play for the Falcons.
Now they're talking about something out there. Now
I don't see any flags on the field though.
I don't know what to talk about.
Maybe this rule in West Virginia has an implied penalty.
You know, the Coach Howell and the coaches have been scouting the team. When they came back, they were making comment about the fact that the officials constantly take time out to discuss things on the field. It's sometimes you know why they're talking. It's a strange thing happening, but they are doing it, just as the scouts said they did.
Well, that's they do here in West Virginia, but nonetheless, the Falcons have the ball with 1:12 and counting remaining first half. First down and 10 on the Bruins 27-yard line. Hand off is the Connor. He's still on his feet, and he's inside 20-yard line, so that'll be a good pickup of about 8. And we have widened the Bruin fans here on this side of the stadium.
You know, I hope you all saw it on the street. Al Connor was running up behind his blocker. I believe it was Jeff Galino. And as Jeff was pulling it through, somebody was tugging on Al Connor's shirt. Al just grabbed on the depth shirt and Jeff pulled it through.
Which is illegal.
But
it is West Virginia.
No, I'm not sure it is. You're not allowed to push someone.
I don't think you're allowed to grab the jersey of one of your blockers. I'm not sure.
Well, then I didn't see that.
Well, it doesn't matter. This is a rebroadcast anyway.
That's good.
After the fact. 54 seconds remaining in the first half. And we're jovial here because the Falcons are doing well right now. They have a 7-point lead, and they also have the ball. Second down and short on the Bruins 19-yard line.
The stadium is brand new. They have a beautiful all-weather track, and they supposedly are able to seat about 10,000. I don't really believe they can seat 10,000. But I'll tell you what, every seat in the stadium, every spot around the fence is covered by people watching the game. We heard that there were people coming in from Ohio, from Steubenville, and so on, to see the game. Hopefully they're rooting for the Falcons and all the people. This is a consortium school. It's like a county school, so there are a lot of people from a lot of little cities or townships here.
That's all we have here for Little City. We shouldn't be side now. And Fletcher is sacked, but he was down. That is not a fumble. That is not a fumble. There, Fletcher was down. His knee had touched. The Bruins will get the ball back. 45 seconds left. And that, what official was waiting to make that call in favor of the Bruins? I just saw him looking. Fletcher's down. That is no way with a fumble.
Yeah, just to say something for the official, he was fumbling the ball slightly. But I'll tell you what, right now, the Falcons have Bruins confused.
We do have Bruins in this rain. I do not want to sound too harsh on the officials. We do have a tendency sometimes we are.
The fact of the matter is we're from Austintown. and our spirits are high for our team. And that was a questionable call, but we'll have to wait to see the replay.
That was questionable. I'll give the officials the benefit of the doubt there, but I will not in any way give the officials at me the benefit of the doubt. Handoff is one ball carrier.
Rich the Jock really did a job on the draw at that play. He was all out. It was just hitting the run, and he put the run right out. Rich is a fun person to be around. He's energetic. He's always rooting. If he wasn't a football player, he'd be a head cheerleader.
I know most of the time. I'm sure you have him in one of your classes.
Well, Rich is one of the ones I had class, and I teach him a lot. But he's a whale of a young kid, and he does a super job on the football field. He's a very personable young man too.
The Bruins did take a timeout with 32 seconds remaining in the half. They have a third and long facing them, and then they'll probably go for another pass here, and that pretty well will come close to ending them. He may get the ball back on a punt. I don't know how well the Falcons will go for anything, but we do have a 7-point lead. We may just take that into the locker room and come out in the second half. Speaking of the second half, it is interesting to note that kind of got away from our talk all the time about how the Falcons haven't scored that much in the second half. And really, on the Massillon game, when we scored those 12 points at the end that brought us ahead and we won the game, or 10 points, no, 12. And we won the game. That's when we scored a lot of points, but right now we have to. And right now, that's a big play because Bruins are out of bounds with 25 seconds left in the half. And a good play there by starting number 87, number 37, Kokoski, and also number 73, Rich Chalk, and running quarterback out of bounds. The back out of sync. The Falcons, beyond the math game, haven't done scoring in the second half. That's plagued them all this year. But right now, they do have a 7-point lead, and hopefully they can overcome that back during the second half here, Brooke. We didn't score last week against.
Now we have 25 seconds to go. and we will have a chance at least to get this ball back. And it went right out of bounds. It's a bad punt.
This is bigger chance than that, because with 19 seconds left, if we can get one or two good passes off, we know the strength of the leg of our kicker, Jeff Wilkins, who completed 3 field goals last week. He was 3-3, and he was all of the Falcons' offense point-wise, because we did win by a score of 9-6 over the Irish.
Boy, what's made, there is a crossing hit. Because the stadium is a bottom of hills that surround 3/4 of it, you have a swirling wind through it. But it's behind us, and Derek Fletcher's going to pass.
Fletcher has Wilson open. It's going to be a touchdown. 36-yard touchdown pass from Derek Fletcher to Chuck Wilson. 13 seconds remaining in this first half.
Now the Brooke fans are stunned. That was a beautifully executed play. And the best part about it is they obviously knew we were going to try to pass. Chuck Wilson was simply burned his man, and Derek Fletcher could have thrown a better pass if he had the ball, Chuck Wilson.
Excellent play by the Falcons. Now Jeff Scott will be holding for Jeff Wilkins. Wilkins off of a bad snap is able to get through, so now he's up to 13 consecutive PATs, 13 on the year for PATs, so Jeff Wilkins is still on a roll. Score now remains with 13 seconds left in the half. Austintown Fitch 14, Brooke Bruin nothing.
We'd like to remind you, Austintown fans, about the levy coming up, and 3.9 tax on levy, and you know the circumstances the schools are in right now. We have excellent facilities, we have excellent teachers, we have excellent administrators, we have super students. Our programs are second to none. The only problem is to keep them that way, obviously it takes money. And with the state budget freeze and the loss of local revenues and inflation, we need them in Austintown. So search your souls and understand that we do need money and vote for this levy.
Behind a strong win, it's a good Wilkins kick, but the Brooke return is able to recover just outside the 1-yard line. He's going to return it all the way out to the 24, but the Bruins will only have 9 seconds to work with here in the first half.
You know, he probably could have saved his body a little bit by just taking it in the end zone an extra yard if we're getting beat up. The one thing I'd like to mention too about Jeff Scott. Jeff Wilkins obviously has a fantastic, but Jeff Scott, his holder, had a number of times when he had to take a poorly snapped ball and set up for Jeff Wilkins, and he's done a great job.
And so that will be the end of the first half here in Brooke, West Virginia. The Austintown Fitch Falcons have a lead, 2 touchdowns by a score of 14-0 over the Brooke Bruins. Right now, you'll be hearing the sound of the Austintown Fitch High School Marching Band under direction of Lawrence Nell and Joseph Pellegrini. For Kevin Powers, I am Kevin Powers. For Ken Carreno, we'll be seeing you in the second half. Enjoy the band.
We're back at Memorial Stadium for the second half of the Fitch Falcons Bruins football game. Falcons, the first half, scored 14 points. Actually, it probably could have been a little bit higher except for the mistakes that were being made. But the Falcons are controlling the line of scrimmage, and we'll see what kind of adjustments the Bruins have in the second half. Kevin Welly, I have to tell the people that aren't here about the halftime ceremony. This is homecoming at Brooke Stadium, and they have a unique situation. Keep in mind now that this school is a consortium of small towns around the area. But what they do is I was talking to someone about this. They do have a nomination procedure, and they break the nomination procedure down to 20. Then they have one vote of the student body that brings it down to 10. Now, this is where it's a little complicated. What happened was that at halftime, they brought out all 10 girls. They introduced them as we do with all their activities and so on. And then to pick the queen and the runner out of the 10 girls, they had 10 boxes, each with one flower in it. And each of the girls chose one of those flowers. The girl that chose the flower that was yellow became the 1988 homecoming queen. And the girl who chose the pink flower was the runner-up.
And the rest of them got a flower.
Yes. You know, the thing is, we can understand why they do that. Apparently, they're worried about people voting by cities or something like this. But obviously, it's been a tradition here, and it's a very fine ceremony. I hope that the score continues to go our way. And obviously, we're from Fitch High School, so I'd like to spoil their homecoming. You know, it really is beautiful here, though. I can't say enough about the fact that drive down here this time of the year. The weather, it's somewhere in the vicinity of 65 degrees. All around here, it is blowing with a good velocity because it is chilly.
It's certainly up here. It is a bit nippy. The wind does get be pretty nasty up this high in the press box.
But it really is. We look across the field and see all this red, white, and blue of the Fitch fans who travel down here. This probably is not the first. I believe Mentor is actually a little bit further than this to get to. It's just the fact that here we go playing a West Virginia team. I don't think we ever thought we'd ever play a West Virginia team. I understand that we're playing the team because we couldn't find an opponent either today. And there was some sort of connection at Youngstown State University, and the connection was made through the two schools, through the university. Here comes Rob Tofil. He's going to get ready to toss coin. Well, Kevin, back to you. What do you have to say?
This is the first time the Falcons have traveled West Virginia in the school's history. We did play one team from West Virginia, but that was at Falcons Stadium during the 60s. So we never did actually travel to the state of West Virginia. And also, it's interesting, that homecoming process. It was quite amusing. I don't know, maybe it's we're from big city or something.
No, wait a minute. That's Kevin Powers talking.
Yes, remember, the views that I expressed are not necessarily the views of the station, the school, or anyone else who is saying them on.
Well, really, there was a little bit of fun here, but you know, obviously tradition is tradition. That's their tradition, so they do it that way. We use more popularity content. Maybe a lot wouldn't be a bad way of picking the homecoming.
You know, besides the super auto kicker type of homecoming process, I do have to say Brooke fans are excellent fans. While the Austintown Fitch High School marching band was playing, they all stayed, or a good majority of them, and when the band was done, they loudly applauded and stood for the Austintown Fitch High School marching band. These are fine fans here in Brooke, Virginia. You
find that a lot of the programs, they been the fact that Maslin, you know, we really destroyed the season. And yet the people left, and I met a few of them in restaurants afterwards and so on. We're a class act. People are used to winning and have a lot of tradition. We're a class act, and are the Falcon fans.
So Wilkins will open up the second half here in West Virginia with a nice long kick, and into the end zone. That'll be a touchback, and Bruins will have to start their own 20-yard line. As we begin, let's recap the scoring from the first half, and it shouldn't take very long, but it'd take the Falcons about 23 minutes of first half to put points on board. With 1:25 remaining in the first half, Derek Fletcher on a 24-yard scamper was a broken pass when he was able to get in the end zone, and the Wilkins kick after was good, and we were up by 7. And then 15 seconds remaining in the first half, 36-yard Fletcher to Weston pass off the score to where we stand now, Austintown 14, Brooke West Virginia nothing. Basil drop back, getting good pressure. He is brought down. Chuck Campbell sacked him, wristed Chuck, finished him off, and then he dropped the ball, but the officials ruled it not a fumble, not a down play, but an incomplete pass.
He dropped the ball. His hand was actually down when he dropped it. All right, that's all right.
So it maybe shouldn't have been a fumble recovery, but it should have been an 18-yard loss, and now the Bruins will have second and 10 still in their own 20.
All right. Well, they lucked out on that one. All the way down to the 2-yard line. That was phenomenal.
So second and 10 for the Bruins. Have one back, 3 receivers this side of the field. The pitch is the far side. And he's brought down by Push and a host of other Falcons on the play. So they're going to pick up no yards. Good play there. Pull it on the stop and also to chuck in there several other Falcons.
The Falcons came out fired up. That first play would have been an absolute disaster for the Bruins. The official ruled there was an incomplete pass, but all the ball all the way back. But the Falcons are here to play. A little mistake like that, officials are not going to disturb them.
So 3rd and 10. Ball count for the Bruins. But still on the option, and good play by Chuck Campbell, and that is a fumble, and that is a fumble.
Not to call it a fumble.
That is really getting ridiculous. Not only did the ball come out when it was hit, but the play never even hit the ground before it was recovered.
Now, the Falcons are going to get the ball back one way or the other. I don't know who made that stop.
It was number 29 strong safety Chuck Campbell.
He did a super job. I mean, there was blockers in front of him, just got between them and made an absolute open field ball.
If this keeps up, we're going to have to start making fun homecoming process then.
What?
A bad punt, and it's going to be stopped there on the Bruins 43-yard line. So the Falcons nonetheless will get good.
There's a flag.
There is flag on the field, so we'll have to wait here for the official call.
It's holding against the Bruins.
If I were the Falcons, I would decline it and take good field position right now.
I believe that's what they're going to do.
I would take the field position here.
Well, the coaches up there say that they are having a good shot at blocking the punt, so maybe we'll do that.
And then again, if you do look at the punting of Bruins punter, it hasn't been very impressive. It's been quite lackluster. So we're going to make them kick it again. So maybe this is a good thing to do for the Falcons. Either way, we're going to get the ball back in good field position where we should have had it downside, but inside the 20. Well, it's one of those things just happened.
Maybe we'll get back right there.
So the punting team for the Falcons back, and Chuck Weston standing on Bruins' 4-yard line. Setting up the return. And Weston will be able to not field this. So the Falcons are going to lose about 20 yards on that one. So if you look back, you see maybe we should have declined the penalty. Nonetheless, the Falcons have the ball. They're going to be starting on their own 44-yard line. 1st and 10 with 10:09 remaining in the 3rd period.
That's one of those woulda, shoulda, coulda routines, but yeah, we did lose 20 yards on that exchange, but the Falcons at this point look somewhat confident, and away we go for first time on offense in the second half.
And off is Marakic, and he has good carry, a pick of about 4. Let's set up the offense again for the Falcons. They've scored 14 points so far in this game. They're doing an excellent job out there. Fullback Marakovic, halfback Connors, also Weston is halfback, quarterback is Derek Fletcher, split end are Scott and Tillfield, and the line rounds out with tight end Hauser, guards, some RJ Fitzpatrick, also Jeff Galino in there, center Tony Dorenzo, and the tackle to the Falcons, Ben Burton and Trent Mascola. So the Falcons now have 7 down and long 5, all resting on their own 48-yard line. Weston gets the call, and he's close for first down yards, and I think he'll have it, so that'll be a first down for the Falcons inside Bruins territory. Looking at the Falcon offense, and we do have this week's statistics for the SEC. Total offense, Falcons lead the Steel Valley Conference, and they have averaged 261 yards per game. And breaking that down rushing-wise, Fitch is leading the Steel Valley Conference. We're number 1 in the conference, and we're averaging 197 yards per game. We also have 15 touchdowns. However, passing-wise, we are 3rd in the SEC, and we average about 64 yards a game, but neither team's ahead of us. Ursula Rooney averages more than 65 a game. And, of course, we're not a passing team. We like to keep our drives to the ground. Derek Fletcher does run a lot. It's our run-oriented offense. So the Falcons are still number 1 in total offense in Steel Valley. And off is the Connor. He'll pick up about 4, so we are maintaining a good drive here.
It's a little announcement for you Falcons followers. October 27th, that Thursday, we're going to have dance at the Action Club, 50s and 60s dance, and we invite everyone to come in. Got all our donation, gives you more prizes and snacks. You can buy your tickets at Denzo's, Advanced Marketing Systems, or at the school board office.
Fletcher rolls out. He has Eric Ophil, but it's just over his hands, so that'll be incomplete and out of bounds. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Falcons. There's 8:17 remaining here in this 3rd period.
Now, that was a slow developing play. And then Derek was a little high with pass, because Toro was open.
One back, Marakovic. Fletcher rolls out to the far side. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be short of first down. He's down around the 37-yard line of the Bruins, but that's about 3 yards short of the marker. So to bring up 4th down and a long 3, just about 4 yards now by marking. And the Falcons look like we're going to go for it here on 4th down. That we are. We're up by 14 points, and we have confidence in our offense. We also are facing a situation where time is running down on the clock here, the 25-second clock. And off Connor, he fights forward. Good effort by Al Connor. The second effort gets him 4 yards needed for the first down. So drive is maintained. The Falcons will have 1st and 10 in the Bruins 35. And, you know, it's amazing the small amount of fans that are large for the trip that they had to make, but they still are smaller than, say, Falcon Stadium. They are loud, and they are really into this game. It's doing well for the Falcons.
I think the Brooke fans are stunned. But everything is going the Falcons' way. They're making it go their way, but they're doing an excellent job of controlling the ball.
Marakovic has an opening, and he's still on his feet. and he's finally brought down, but not after he has enough for the first down, about 11 yards on the pickup, and so the Falcons now resting on the Bruins' 24-yard line.
Matt is running like a bruiser. He just put his head down and just drives right through him. It takes 2 or 3 of them to stop him each time he runs.
You know, the success of the fullback play up the middle probably can be attributed to the stunning that the Bruins do. They're stunning, they're coming in, and they're having problems with some of our other plays. That quick dive right up the middle with Matt Marakovich is working really well. This time, Connorth has the carry, and he's going to pick up about 2.5, maybe 3, so they're going to have a second and long.
All right, we have to give all the credit in the world to our offensive line. They are really, really manhandling the Bruins line. We mentioned their names, but it's so important. Hauser, Mesco, Galino, Lorenzo, Fitzpatrick, Burton, and Rob Togo and Jim Scott coming there. They're just doing a super job.
Marakovich gets the carry that time. Not as successful as most of his carries so far, but good enough for 3. So they rang up a 3rd down and just over 4 yards to go for the first.
Now that time they guessed right. They had all their stun towards the middle, close the hole, and closed everything else in the middle. If Matt could have taken that one step to the outside, there's no one out there. They had 3 blockers.
Well, hopefully that's what we're setting up. Keep cutting the middle, get them away from those outside stunts, and hit them on the outside with Brooke West and speed Al Connorth, and he might have good play.
Wide open hole.
And
Weston
has enough for the first down. He's inside the 10, ball resting on the 9. So the Falcons now have first down goal to go, and they have control of this ball game. There's just no doubt about it. I think we have broken fear of the Bruins. We've also surprised them a lot. They didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what to expect. Now they do.
Our typical game now, where the clock is ours. We control it. Now comes that big test, Kevin. You put the devil eye on us. The second half, we don't score. We don't score within the 10-yard line. Here we are. Second half, 10-yard line. And the handoff, we were just talking about the coaches, excuse me. We're just talking about the handoff was all messed up. I think, Kevin, we better take the double line off.
Well, you know, I just call them like a team, and we haven't been as successful in the second half this year as we have in the first. And also, last week, you know, we could not predict inside the 5-yard line, and hopefully we can break that thing, the monkey on our back, so we can get in here from 9 yards out, but we do have 2nd and 9. And off to number 40, Jeff Powers, way stay on his feet there for Powers, and he's all the way down inside the 5, and
he put his left hand down and literally crawled without being his knee down for that extra 3 or 4 yards.
That's reminiscent of another Falcon runner for past Odd Powers. There must be some sort of relation there. But a 3rd down and 5.
I have to say this with fast. Obviously, Kevin Powers is the announcer here. So the Todd is out there playing against the Bruins of UCLA Bruins.
He plays for the
and
University
here
of California.
Jeffrey played against the Brooke Bruins.
Yes, they're playing the UCLA Bruins, Jeff playing the Brooke Bruins, and Jeff is close to a score.
They did give it to him.
He's about a yard shy. Hopefully Todd's doing the same thing out in Los Angeles against UCLA.
I think he's about 4 inches, not even. Shit. That ball, I can't believe he did not break the plane. Just too much load not to have made it the extra. But anyway, here we go. Now the Falcons can disprove everything right here. 4th down, inch to go.
The Falcons could really run up the score right now by 3 touchdowns by scoring here. 4th down and 1. Fletcher drops the ball. The ball goes over to the Brooke Bruins. And that's really a bad move, or a bad break for the Falcons. That's really interesting here with 3:27 remaining in the 3rd period.
No, I really think that it's on their minds, too. And they want it so much that, unfortunately, they forget to do the fundamentals. Now, there's a prime example of a bad exchange, simple bad exchange between the center and the quarterback. Something that can happen at time, but it always seems to happen. Something happens when we're about to score.
Falcons now on defense. Good play there, but he's quarterback, but still was able to get through the line of scrimmage. The Chalk and Mahakovich on the stop finally. Looking at the defense once again, let's set up the defense of the Falcons out on the field right now. PNC is Conley, the nose man, the Chalk and Polish tackles. OLBs are Mahakovich and Story. Inside backers, Powers and Hauser. And the secondary is Kamalo, Alec, Fletcher, and Sofil. 2nd down and 7. Handoff is to number 20. That's Custom Marzio, but he's going to pick up the yardage. It's finally stopped by Mahakovich and also Powers. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 4. We stop the Bruins here. We should be able to get the ball back. Once again, a good field position because their punter has not been punting that well this afternoon. 2:15 remaining in the 3rd period. 3rd and 4. Ball on the Bruins 12-yard line. Quick option pitch. Finally knocked out of bounds by Sorry and Toville, but good enough for a 1st down. So the Bruins get themselves out of deep in their own territory, and they're now resting out on their own 11-yard line.
They really crossed up the defense on that play. It was a well-executed play. They fake towards the inside and just a good shot, and our defender was left all alone waiting to try to stop him.
1st and 10 for the Bruins. Hand up to the second back. He stopped up to this line of scrimmage. A lot of Falcons in there. Starry and pull it. And no way, that was no flag. 1:51 remaining in third period. And all I keep getting is flashbacks to the game at YSU this year. We should have had a couple turnovers in our favor. Now there's a personal foul against the Falcons. And there was no way that was a personal foul. The running back poked away from the pile by throwing his buddy about it. And it looked like Falcons were doing something, but they weren't. Foolish call for that. That was not a penalty. It should have been thrown. So that'll give the Bruins 15 yards and move it all the way out to their own 29-yard line. Well, that's a little West Virginia hospitality there.
All kidding aside, we've dominated this team constantly. We're only up by 14 points. A little slight move. The first half, they were getting the wide receivers out deep and so on. This game was certainly still up in the air, and we don't need things like that going on. And frankly, I agree. I would call it if it was one of the players who had personal foul. There was no personal foul there, but the official believed there was.
Still rolls out. He has his receiver. Ball, fumble, and it rolls right hand Chuck Hamill. And I think the referees are looking for something they can do. But there is no way they can stop that. It bounced right off the ground. Hauser and Powers hit, forced all loose, and Chuck Hamill recovers it. So the Falcons gain the ball back quickly, and they now have first and 10 on the Bruins 35-yard line.
What's happening here, Kevin?
Make that 37.
The Falcons, their rubber brand, they hit a lot harder than the Bruins do. I'm not sure the Bruins are used to that. And what's happening, this is a long series of fumbles. This one finally went in our hands, so we have to keep it.
Fletcher rolls out. He's looking downfield for Sean. He's going to have to run it. Good run by Derek Fletcher. Gets him close to a first down. So that's a broken pass play that turned into a big play.
Matt Marakovich did a heck of a job. He went out as a late receiver. He realized Derek was going to run the ball. He just turned out and flattened the quarterback who was watching him, or it was a linebacker. He just put him right down.
So that'll be a pickup of 9 there by Fletcher. They're bringing down a long one. Weston gets the call. He has enough for the first down, but not much more. And there's a player down the field for the Bruins. I'd like to remind our Falcon followers that the game films are shown every week by Touchdown Club in the Austintown High School cafeteria at 7:30 p.m. And you'll get to hear the coach, Dave Hartman, and his comments about the previous week's game. You also see the game films as well. And it's sponsored by the Touchdown Club. There are no fees, there are membership requirements, so join the Touchdown Club for game films Tuesday at 7:30, Fitch Cafeteria.
I'm not sure whether there's the cafeteria that went to the last week, went to the small gym, but they're going to the cafeteria this week. Okay, he's got the word from Kip Cooley, who takes the film. I have a little note here from Coach Powell also. There's a wrestling season tournament on the 22nd of October at the Fitch Gymnasium. That's this Saturday. For information, you call 792-0182. So our wrestling teams, the preseason looks look very good, and we'll see what they can do. We'll be talking to Coach Powell on Coach's Corner in a couple of weeks. It's sad as anyone that heard. I am surprised that we didn't have more. They have two very hard-hitting teams out there. Also, we got to remind everyone, next week it's Warren Western Reserve. That is a big game for the Falcons. If we win that, we can always guarantee a playoff.
And I mentioned earlier on that Reserve is 5th in the state in the AP coaches poll, and they are 2nd in our region computer rankings for the playoffs. So that will be a big game. And also, it'll be bigger if we can keep our lead here and go out of this with a victory, which it looks like we will. Marakovich is the carrier, and he'll pick up about 3, bring up a second down for the Falcons. 2nd and 7. That's going to end the third period here in Brooke, West Virginia, with the score still remaining. Austintown Fitch 14, Brooke Bruins nothing.
You all know by now, if you've been listening to our rebroadcast, that we are sponsored by Robert N. Studio and Kamara Jewelers, and we hope each of you will patronize both these great establishments for their support they give the Channel 19 and our production staff. We also invite any other sponsors who want to come in and take over sponsorship, some of the other activities that we have at Fitch High School. All you have to do is call the high school and ask for the general manager of Channel 19, that's Mr. Paul Harmon, and I'm sure that the two of you can get together so we can have more sponsors for our games. This is a production of the Austintown High School television production class, and we'd like to thank the Brooke High School principal, Mr. Anthony Paisano, and his assistants for the right to come up here today and televise the game, and head coach and the athletic directors for the same courtesy. So we thank them very much.
So the Falcons are in good field position with a drive mounted towards the end zone. First down, and that's 2nd and 7 with the beginning of the 4th period. West gets the double handoff, and he's all the way down to the 11-yard line of the Bruins. Good enough for a first down. So the Falcons once again start to get into scoring position. Hopefully they're more successful than their last attempt when we were stopped at 4th and 1 on the goal line.
I'll tell you what, One thing I like about it is we're on the 12-yard line, not the 10. And the fact is that we could add another first down.
Ball on the 12, 1st and 10. Fourth period just underway here in Brooke. Wesson scores his way through the hole, and he's down to around the 6-yard line, so pick up about 6.
You know, Chuck Wesson is not a giant person, but one thing that a lot of people don't realize how strong he is. But there he showed that famous halfback routine, picking him up and taking it back, and he did twice, and ended up getting third one involved. Unfortunately, we got a nice game on that there.
Hand off to Conrath, but he doesn't get much on the play. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. So around a 3rd down and 6. Looking at the Falcons' backfield, we've been doing extremely well because we have 3 rushers in the top 8 of the Steel Valley. Our leading rusher is Chuck West, and he has 494 yards. But Matt Marakovich and Albert Conner are 6 and 7, and they have 219 and 217 yards. So we have a lot of people up there, and we get the ball to a lot of runners, and also Derek Fletcher has carried the ball up. So our ground game is doing well this year. Fletcher rolls out. Good play by Derek Fletcher. He is still going on his feet. He is able to get
Derek Fletcher did a super job. Obviously, we ran to the right to set a field goal. I was thinking about this before, too. The fact is we want another 3 points just to protect this lead. And Derek did a great job of getting away, and he dove right for the center of the football field.
The NFL, he wouldn't down, but it would have been in the grass. But it was a little heroic along the line of Vinny Testaveri a couple years back against Oklahoma. Fletcher able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and now Wilkins will set up for a 25-yard field goal. And he made 3 last week of 20, 28, 22. This one is up, and it's good.
They called the time when they give us a 5-yard penalty.
Well, that move it 5 yards back, make it a 30-yard field goal. Not out of range of Jeff Wilkins. He's been successful on 5 of 6 this year, but he has 5 in a row going. He has a 25 and a 43-yard field goal against Masson, and then last week, 20, 28, and 22 yards. The only one he missed was 35 yards early in the year against Manor, the second game of the season. So this time he'll be going from 30 yards right in the middle of the field.
And this time the flags are going in his favor.
And that's going to be no good, though. So Jeff Wilkins gets a bad kickoff. He had completed the last one, but the penalty nullified it, and that one is no good. So the Falcons still have a 14-point lead. They come up empty-handed twice here in the second half.
It is really something. We move the ball. I don't know if it is in our offense, and it's a wide-open offense. When you get within the 10 yards, you have less people have to cover. Maybe that's the case. But it's really weird how we move the ball so easily and get stopped.
Defense is back out on the field. The Bruins have 1st and 10 on their own 20. Option. Quarterback Vasil's going to keep it. He's going to pick up about 3.5 on carry to bring up 2nd down and 7. 9:26 remaining a game.
I'll tell you what, their plays are taking almost a minute to run. I can't believe that doesn't speed up a little bit and start passing.
I was a little ahead of myself. That's 9:20 remaining in the 3rd period. Not the game. Pitch to deep back. Good play there, but finally brought down by Hauser and Camp. Good play by number 42, Mahovitz, the outside linebacker. Turning play inside, but didn't make tackle soon enough. Total break, 3rd down and 7 now for the Bruins.
Falcons, once again, they get on defense. They're doing a great job up front. They're making them have to do things that they don't want to do, confuse their offense. It's worked so very well. It's the Brooke Bruins.
3rd down and long 6. Long counts well. Hand up to the second back. Good penetration there by number 73, Richard Shaw. Finally, Stario, Pella, Howard, and Hauser knock him out of bounds. So he'll be shy of 1st down by 4 yards.
We have a great sight angle from up here. Richard Chalk was chasing runner and literally dragging someone who was trying to block him. He was actually holding his shirt. He was dragging him with him.
So the Bruins are stopped quickly by a strong Falcon defense. 7:55 remaining in the 3rd period. O'Pallett, good running by Todd O'Pallett. He's around the outside. He's still on his feet, and he's all the way down to the 4th spot.
That was one fantastic run by Todd O'Pallett. Poor Kevin is sitting here. He's getting confused. He was talking about 9 minutes left to go in the game, but he looked up at the scoreboard, and it says the 3rd quarter. It's not the 3rd quarter. It is the 4th quarter. And now he's less confused. But that was one great run by Todd O'Pallett.
Usually I give more lines to the people working the board than my own memory as we go along here, but I was right that time. This is 7 minutes remaining in the game. That was Marakovich on carry.
What's happening now is the defensive line of the Brooke Bruins are simply going down to their knees. They're not standing up anymore because they were getting blown away there. And as they drop their knee, they become a hard target trying to move out.
2nd and 8 for the Falcons. Ball resting on the Bruins 43-yard line. Connor gets the carry, but he doesn't get much. It's back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up 3rd down long. The Falcons still are trying to keep a drive going and getting it into the end zone. We're still ahead by 14 points with 6:45 remaining in this contest. That is 6:45 remaining in the contest. It is fourth quarter.
You know, Kevin, the score is more than enough, but the fact of the matter is, this has been a one-sided football game. We have caused a lot of our own trouble, and we've had penalties against the weak. Kind of strange.
Wesson breaks the tackle. He'll be short of the first down by about 2 yards, but I think the Falcons are in 4 down territory. It'll be 3 that he'll be shy of the first down marker. If we're going to bring a play in, but we better do it soon. We've been having trouble with it.
Set clock. Now they said, okay, now we have 25 seconds. Around the 20.
Eric Schofield brings the play in.
Now they were looking at the sideline again, Kevin. I hope it wasn't, they're not confused.
4th down and 3 for the Falcons. And off Marakic, but Bruins had that play, and there's a flag on the play, but I don't think it's going to be against the Bruins. We'll have to see the official call there.
It is. It's against the Bruins. And it is a fake pass, and it was. They really did have it. I give the official credit. That's not going to be a very popular call in West Virginia. But the fact is, he did wrap his face around him. They had dead rights. There was no need to grab the face back.
So that's going to move it ahead 15 yards. And that'll be big for the Falcons. Now they're inside the 25, ball resting at the 23-yard line. 5:30 and counting remaining in this contest. Wide out this side is Jeff Scott. Handoff right up middle to Marakovic. Good carry. He's going to pick up about 5. There's a little altercation between Jeff Scott and one of the Bruin players. And I think that cost the Falcons because they seem to be indicating that Jeff Scott was...
They're talking to both of them, though. Let's see. It should be on each other.
Personal foul against the Bruins and personal foul against the Falcons. So that will be offsetting, and the play will have to be run over.
Well, that should be a dead foul. I think it's a dead ball foul. It should have been. But wait a minute, they're looking at where the ball is now. It should have been a dead ball foul because the connotation came after the play was dead. Yeah, I give them credit for the fact they stopped both the boys, they talked both of them, trying to calm things down. But I don't understand this. It should be a dead ball foul. Oh, I see. They're thinking about first down, I think.
Well, the officials are conferring on the field.
Well, I see what they're going to do. They're going to. It's not offsetting. They're going to give us half the distance and drop back 15 yards. But they just moved the flag. They should have moved the flag. You got to. Wait a minute. We're getting first. All right. We got a first down. They gave us a first down, and now they're giving us. All right, there we go.
So in the end, Falcons lose on that transfer
Yeah.
because we only got half the distance to the goal, but we'll lose 15 yards. We do get first down, but now we're all the way out to the Bruins 24.
I see how that works. Right, they give us, they cut it off. They give us half the distance. It was a first down, and then they move back and cut us back to full 15 yards.
The Falcons fans are now doing their own version of the wave. And you got to give them credit for trying.
They're not bad.
And off Weston, he's only going to pick up 2. So bring second down and a long way to go. We have goal to go, so it's second down and goal to go. Ball on the 23-yard line.
I'm trying to take a picture of the wave over there. It's now we got a jump up wave here. That's a beautiful jump by the Fitch Falcons. Yeah, they really look good. Now the Fitch Falcons are going to have their head chalk it out for them.
So Pack is the carrier. He's all the way down to 20. 4:26 and counting left here at Brooke West Virginia in this contest. Third down and goal to go for the Falcons, but the ball's resting on the 20-yard line. So maybe we'll set up for another Jeff Wilkins field goal try. Either way, the Bruins would be hard-pressed to make a comeback at this point. Holding back is Marakovic. Wide up this side is number 22, Rob Schofield. Fletcher looking so he's going to keep it himself. And he's all the way down inside the 5 and finally knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So good running by Derek Fletcher puts it in scoring position. He'll stop the clock with 3:48 remaining. And we'll have 2.5 yards separating us from the end zone in a possible second-half score. It's eluded us twice on a missed field goal by Wilkins and a 4-and-1 goal-to-go situation the Falcons failed earlier in the third period. We're going to go for it here. Rakovic, the one back, 2 wings, though, Powell and Connorth. Fletcher rolls out. He hits the end zone on his mind. Flags are in the air. He has a completed successful touchdown pass to number 1, Pato Powell. That would be a 3-yard completion. but there is a flag and may nullify it. And that will be against the Falcons. That's going to move it back 10 yards. So the Falcons will now have 4th and goal to go in the 13, and Jeff Wilkins will get second chance here to field goal. This attempt by Wilkins is going to be a 29-yard. It'll be a 29-yard attempt here. And it's up and good. So Jeff Wilkins is back in form, and he is now 6 of 8 on field goal, and that's good from 29 yards out. The Falcons now go ahead with 3:39 remaining in the contest. 17 for the Falcons, 0 for Brooke.
Those points are very important. The fact that we weren't scoring on the second half, and we wanted to get that score in there, just make sure. You need insurance. 2 touchdowns, one thing, 2 touchdowns, a field goal, or another touchdown is really difficult. Only 3 minutes, 39 seconds to go. But once again, the Falcons are going to have to look at some of the things that have gone wrong when we get in that 10-yard line. The fact that we push people around over the field and this can't score at the end is something that in the big game that's coming up this weekend in the Warren Western Reserve just can't happen. And I think call your attention to traffic leaving here. There's a lot of people leaving, and there's only one lane out of here.
That means we'll be in Brooke for a long time. A big mix-up by the Bruins. And they're finally brought down inside their 10-yard line. That one's for sports fouls, Blitz and Boyner to hit the returner right in his helmet. They're able to recover it, but they're inside their 10. They only have 3:34 to work with. They're down by 17. It looks like this one's a bag for the Falcons.
Well, we're down to the 3.5 minutes to go. Because their work cut out for Mac on their 9-yard line.
Still up straight back, looking for a quick 3 of 6. And Otto Puck almost had his 5th interception of the year. Just out of hand. But still was looking for a deep play there, big play, because Bruins must come back here with only 3 minutes remaining. This will bring the Falcons to 6-1 if they win. And of course, we've been talking about the Warren Western Reserve contest next Saturday night at Mollenhoff Stadium in Warren. And tickets will be on sale Wednesday and Thursday at the South Ticket Circle from 6 to 8 p.m. And I'm sure Reserve season ticket holders will be able to get their tickets earlier. So keep an eye on the bulletin board on Channel 19 and then the Austintown Leader until you want to pick up those tickets. A completion there for the Bruins, and a good one. They'll pick up about 13 yards.
And the officials keep trying to stop the clock. The clock was still running on that last play.
2:50 now remaining in the contest. Bruins trying to save as much time as they can. Falcons running 5 defensive backs, 4 down linemen. Good pressure there by the Falcons. The ball's thrown up. Powell makes a nice play, but the reception is made at 40-yard line of Bruins. So the Bruins are mounting a drive here using strictly the airways as their way to do it. And speaking of that, looking at the statistics for the defense, we are third in the SEC. We're giving up an average of 176 yards per game. But we are second against the rush. We defense the rush and only give 86 yards per game. But we are last in defensing the pass. We give up 89 yards per game passing. So that is our weakness. First and 10 ball in the 39 of the Bruins. Almost picked off again by both Kimmel and O'Powell. Otto Powell looked for that 5th one, and he's come close several times.
You know, it fascinates. We're playing, obviously, a prevent defense, but they're just throwing the ball right up in the air. Straight up and saying, okay, somebody catch it.
So the clock is now standing at 2:05. After Warren Western Reserve, the Falcons have another big game. That will be against Boardman at Boardman. And then finally, we'll finish up on November 4th, Parents Night, against the East High Golden Bears. That will be at Falcon Stadium. Shocking pressure on Basile. Completion is made to Croce. Stopped by Powers at the 45. A timeout has been called by the Bruins with 1:49 remaining. They now have 2 timeouts left. Falcons will still maintain a prevent defense.
We have a break in action. Let me remind you that this is production of the Austintown Fitch High School television production class. The general manager of Channel 19, Mr. Paul Porn. The production manager and classroom instructors, Mr. Ken Carano. The studio supervisor is Mrs. Linda Sarver. Technical advisors, Mr. Lou Gaskell. Our director for this production is Mr. John Hoppa. The cameraman and soundman were our biologists and Jim Beckett. We'd like to thank once again the Bob Sen Studios Photography And cards for their sponsorship of this program. And certainly the announcer, Kevin Powers.
So 1:49 is remaining here in Brooke, West Virginia. 3rd and 3.5 for the Bruins. Ball in their own 42.
Coach King has to move off field quickly. First part of the action here.
Falcons have their 5 defensive backs in the prevent defense. Low back for the Bruins. They have all their men on the other side of the field. There are 3 receivers. They go there. Good play by Campbell. And that will be incomplete. So 4th down and 3.5 now facing the Bruins.
Pitch the clock is back in. It'll be a nice drive home for the Falcons. And for us. It may be a long drive. We'll be here for probably another hour after the game before we can get out of the stadium.
Indeed, also, West Virginia, Brooke, West Virginia will not soon forget the Falcons. They'll know what Northeast Ohio football is all about, and especially the Steel Valley. They're close to the first down yardage. Howes was the stop there. Speaking of the Steel Valley, Falcons are 1-1 in the Steel Valley. They beat Ursuline, lost Mooney. However, Mooney beat Boardman, and Ursuline beat Boardman. So the hope is now that Ursuline can beat Mooney, and then you have a 3-way tie for the Steel Valley between ourselves, Ursuline, and Mooney. Otherwise, if Mooney wins, they'll be the undisputed Steel Valley crown holders for this football season.
The ball going to go over on down to the Falcons. They were short of the first down marker. And with 1 minute and 37 seconds left to go in the game, it's pretty well sure the Falcons are now going to be 6-1. You know, we talk about the different style of football, and the fact of the matter is, it is a tough style of football. Austintown Fitch is, ranked 10th in the state of Ohio, and it means people think it's 9-fold better. And this was the championship last year.
Flag on the play, Marakovich able to get 12 yards. Good running by Marakovich deal. 1:14 is what's left. That's a face mask against Marakovich, and that's going to be 15 more yards. And now the Falcons once again in some sort of scoring position. I'm sure Won't Gamble will just run it and keep plowing forward toward the end zone. If we score, we score. If we don't, hey, we're coming out of here with a victory.
For your information, this is a 1-year contract, so they have to see if we're going to renegotiate the contract for next year. The question, obviously, for both teams was, how good is the team? Go ahead.
Maybe they'll pull Canton McKinley back out on the contract. Maybe they'll get sick of being beat too often.
Well, the thing is that this town will pride itself on football. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they would not be overly thrilled playing us again. Because the statistic at the end of this game should be overly whopping in the favor of the Falcons.
Marakovich carrier, he gets 6 more, so he's probably bound to be leading rusher for the Falcons today. So that's some good runs. You know, this has been a fun ball game. Brooke was a heck of a team. It was an excellent team. Falcons were just able to get ahead and stay ahead. And you got to give credit to the team and the coaching staff. And also, it's a nice stadium, nice fan. So having played Brooke again wouldn't be bad for the Falcons next year. So we'll have to see what happens there. But right now, we're concerned about the 8-8 season. And they're going to end this game right now with Rick Fletch going down the 1. That'll run out the time on the clock.
That's a little glad by Coach Hartman. We really probably could score again. And he didn't want to bump the score. It'll be the end of the game. We'll have a shaking of the hands. And the boys will go out to dinner and head home for victorious.
And that'll end it here in Brooke, West Virginia, with the final score being the Austintown Fitch Falcons 17, the Brooke Bruins nothing. Join us again next week when we battle reserve for the rebroadcast, and keep watching for all the sports on Austintown Community Television.
This is Austintown Community Television, Channel 19. The consortium between the Austintown Schools, the Austintown Trustees, and Armstrong Cable Channel. We hope you enjoy this rebroadcast. We invite you to call school with any of your comments, and tune in next week where we trail out Warren West Reserve, play the Warren West Reserve Raiders. I introduce Kevin Powers.